Ask me. Ask Iliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions.
Do you remember that?
What?
Remember that little dog where he's like, I got you on camera? Because that little dog's like, rah, 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 rah.
Oh, no, it was a woman. She's like, yeah, I got you.
Right,
I got you. And then the dog goes, like at the last moment. Yeah, I got you on camera.
That's like, I got you.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, I have to struggle and set up everything. I think people are tired of hearing us talk about like setting up.
Ooh, us.
Well, and then I'm like, all right, and you need a little bit of control. And you're like, all right, set up your hit record. And you're saying it because in the past I haven't. But I'm different now.
Well, because it would also be weird if I just sat here silently like, you good to go? Like,
and oftentimes I'll be like, can you say check 1, 2? And you're like, check 1, 2. I'm like, why are you so quiet otherwise?
You just I don't know what you want from me.
I don't know. Everything.
You don't know either. Yeah, exactly. You don't know what you want from me.
So this is the 30th of April, and I've just gotten back from Australia in the future. A little jet lag. It is always harder coming home than it is going. Harder going out than it is going in. That's what they say. And then next week we'll do an update about my time in Australia and New Zealand, but this is being recorded in the past as the future. Because, I mean, you're crazy if you think people don't batch record all types of media and present it fresh.
You usually don't.
I usually
don't on this show. You like it fresh, but yeah, you're in Australia. We gotta be ready.
And if I'm in Australia, if I've just gone to Australia, that means I've done several micro episodes of my new show, A Fun Coffee. Hopefully some of them are out by now, and everybody knows about my legendary coffee map that I've shared with no one. But I've decided to start making content about coffee places that I love, and it has less to do with the type of coffee. I'm not here to be like, it's Arabica beans. Like, I don't care. It's about the coffee shop vibes, because finding a fun coffee shop is finding the heart of a city. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I did.
Because it's about the vibes. You're going in and you're getting like a house special. Like, you're not getting the same thing at every place to compare, right? You're fully immersing yourself. You're like, what are you guys known for?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's more about going in and just getting the vibe. Like, I pre-research it. I go in, I order usually the same thing, but if it's somewhere different, I can get like a fun, whipped coffee or something. I see what the specialty is there, and I judge it on things like, do you have fun coffee offerings? I don't want to go to your stark Scandi coffee house where you only have like cortado, cappuccino, only espresso. I'm here for a good time. I'm here for a bespoke, cozy time. I'm here for a curated time. So it doesn't matter if it's like a Japanese audiophile who has a cafe filled with speakers in Toronto, or a schoolhouse that's been renovated and it's a community gathering place, or like a Colombian coffee shop in Celebration, Florida. I just want to know your vibe, and I want to drink your tasty drink.
So will you come to my house? I just got a new creamer I haven't tried yet.
Do you want to hear what flavor did you get? I could talk about it all day.
I got vanilla, but then I was like, I'll get this other one too, and it's coffee cake flavor.
Double coffee. Why not just cake? You already have the coffee.
I don't know. I'm trying these Chobani creamers because they're actual cream and not chemical, so they go bad.
People will get mad at you. They'll be like, I know my International Delights are chemical. Don't come for me.
I eat so much chemical, but...
You are all chemical.
Yeah. I'm trying to not.
I will tell you,
can.
I did not drink coffee in college. It just literally nobody ever offered it to me, and I never thought about it. And then
nobody ever offered. Sounds like you were like, nobody's offering you drugs. Nobody ever tried to get me go out back and have an espresso by the dumpsters.
Did. Nobody ever pressured me into drugs or drinking. Like, nobody cares unless you're smoking hot. Like, nobody fucking cares what you do in your free time. I remember there was this one like emo kid in my film class, and it was a 4-hour class like every Wednesday. He would drink a black coffee because we had to 4 hours at night is kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He would also bring like a full pint of ice cream. And I was like, that's kind of cool. And then one time we got stoned and I did it. I was like, this is awful. But that's inspired, bringing that into class.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until around 25 or 26 after Last Comic Standing, because the other comics drank coffee. And I was like, I guess I get into this. And like you're 26. This is pre-Instagram. I just like bought a coffee maker, and I would buy my filters at Office Depot, and I would just make coffee for myself. But I would buy all of those little rat creamers you're talking about. And I had every perennial Christmas cookie,
yes.
French vanilla, sweet cream. I never did the chocolate flavors. They are not great. for you. It is soy excrement. There's no dairy in it. And it's not even no dairy in like a conscientious vegan way. It's like things that you don't want to be drinking. So just keep it in mind as I shame you.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's like I don't make all the best choices, so I just try to make better choices, right? So I have the little baby Cokes instead of a full can. I have an actual dairy creamer instead of a chemical, like trying to make those swaps that are easier.
Look, and I'm not shading it because for years I drank it and then I did the keto diet in like 2018 and then I just stopped craving sugar in my coffee. That's just me. That's just how I'm better than you. But I will say I saw someone sent it to me, some infuriating article written to be infuriating. And it was like, Gen Z is discovering the art of being an at-home barista. And it was just some idiot making a coffee at home with her like little coffee bar, which every woman has dreamed of. Like, do I get like a little shelf for my spices? I love a coffee moment. Make it a cozy corner. In my case, it is next to Noah's booze block, which is like a really nice cutting board and all the wood and oil that goes into that, and his starter for his sourdough and all of his flour. So it's kind of like not a cozy corner, but it's like this utilitarian corner. But I always try to spruce it up, just make it nice and cozy for me. And yesterday I thought about making my own. Oh, I have an apology to issue to someone. We have a fan who goes by Lily Files.
Yeah, what do you do to her?
Well, I just want to say this is a girl, I don't know her real name, who's been a fan for years. And I remember years ago, this girl saying that she loved to eat lavender. She says things, I think this is her. I could be wrong. But she said she loved to eat lavender. And I say publicly, but like on some kind of either on Instagram or on our podcast or something, I was like, that's fucking gross. And I take it all back. And I've thought about saying this for years. Like, I love a lavender shortbread. I love a lavender ice cream. I love a lavender syrup. I love eating lavender. And I was wrong. And I was ignorant. And I apologize. And I get it. It's like it's like floral and like the littlest bit spicy without being too adventurous. Like French spicy.
I don't like a floral flavor personally, so I stand by that. But I'm glad that your palate has evolved.
No, you'll like it. Maybe even rose every once in a while. But last night I was like, I bet I can make my own lavender syrup. We have so much lavender here in Southern California. And I took a picture of the lavender in our backyard and I texted it to my mother-in-law, who's a landscape designer. And I was like, can I eat this? And she was like, well, we did have devastating fires quite recently, so you might want to.
How often do you text her, can I eat this, about various things outdoors?
The amount of adult and parenting things that I just don't know as a grown woman.
But that's a specialty. Can I tell you, this was actually going to be my bottom, but I was like, I actually can't talk about periods anymore on this show.
You can't. It was funny, and now we're done. Okay.
No, but I'm not. But I'm saying my leg, I got scratched by a cat, so my leg bled a little bit, and it got on my bed, the leg blood, and something about that, I was like, ugh, it looks like it's something else, but it's just leg blood, so it's fine.
Hi, I'm Walter Legblood, your realtor. Listen, Emily, here's the thing. Here's why I think you're a liar. The amount of stories you tell me about like a small scratch. You're like, and then I got a small scratch. I got a scratch down my arm. I got a scratch. Something scratched me. Who's scratching me?
It's not so.
There's always a scratch.
Who it is.
No one gets scratched. I noticed your Bud Light sweatshirt, by the way.
This
courtesy
is
of me. That's right.
Yeah.
Bud Light. Remember when Bud Light was just handing out seltzer and merch, and we were just scooping it up, making those Bud Light fresh content videos?
I love a free sweat. A free t-shirt is so great, but oh my God, a free sweater. And this is like a very light sweater, which you don't get that often. It's very thin.
It's hard to get a summer sweater. I will tell you right now, I'm wearing a sweatshirt that I thrifted because for my birthday, Noah and I went to like a Buffalo Exchange to get him a purple shirt. And while we were there, I was like, that's a nice like orange creamsicle colored sweatshirt. I'll buy that. And then I was like, but I need the matching sweatpants. I'm sure I'll just find them. I never did. It goes with nothing. I kind of hate it. But the hat, I paid for. I paid $50 for this hat.
What does it say on it?
Feina.
What does that mean?
It was this really nice hotel in Miami, like South Beach, Miami Beach.
Yeah.
I think it's like an Argentinian hotelier, but Argentine. I did that corporate gig there, and it was like a super nice hotel. And they
didn't give you a hat.
No, but they gave me, you're there for 2 days, and I was just like very Miami, and I was just like, this is a nice hotel. Like, I'm gonna go buy a hat. And so I just bought the hat.
It's a nice hat.
It's pink. It's a nice color on me. Lets
Yeah.
people know that I have been somewhere nice. There's a Damien Hirst gold plated, not mastodon, woolly mammoth encased in glass in front of the pool.
Does he do the balloon dogs or is that someone else?
I think so. But it's like a several $1 million sculpture. And I'm like, why? Like, who needs this? Why? Because it's filled with cocaine.
I don't feel like I fully understand most sculptures.
Okay. I'm not here to. We were talking about coffee. Anyway. That's it. I'm not going to go into like an art history appreciation moment with you. Anyways, so I'm all about having a coffee moment, and it makes me really happy. I'm on my second coffee of the day, and as a true adult, I go to bed looking forward to my cup of coffee. That's all. My daughter helps me make it. She makes a mess with the beans, and that's okay.
Does she have like a little water cup alongside you?
I let her like grind the beans. I let her put the beans in the thing. I let her watch the bubbles come up.
It's an exciting day.
Well, she's the kid that knows that like, not mommy needs her coffee, but like she knows mommy drinks coffee in a way that I didn't think about it with my mom. But like, I need it. I need it because I want it, not because I need it.
Yes, it's fun. And I think that's a nice spot to be in. Like, it's like when I have my little baby Coke in the evening, it's like, oh, this is my little special fun drink.
Do you drink it out of the can or do you pour it into a glass and make it nice? Can I make a suggestion for you?
You want it in a cup? Then I got to wash the cup.
Not a cup, you troglodyte. A glass. Not a cup, you toddler. A glass.
My sippy cup.
No.
I have to clean out the spout.
When I was pregnant, I would get like a Spindrift because we love them. And I would pour it into like a heavy, substantial cut crystal. We got Baccarat glasses, I think, as a wedding gift for my cousin. We also have some just nice ones, like a snifter or something. I would pour it in there. And it just feels special. So that is my wish for you, Emily. And my wish for everyone listening as I attempt to make my own fiefdom of homemaking here. Get a special glass, not a pre-Shrek 3 promotional Pepsi cup, but like a real glass. Not a champagne glass, not a wine glass, because that's for idiots, but like a substantial alcohol glass and pour your non-alcoholic drink or your orange juice or something in that.
You're not going to like what I have to say to that in exchange, which is I can't have an open cup unless I want a foot in it. A cat foot.
You got to tame those cats.
That's what I know. I keep getting told I need to train them.
Your cat, can I just say this before we get to the questions? Your cat is not going to go anywhere near that Coke, and I will tell you why. Because my dog, if I try to offer her like a synthetic treat, she won't go near it. Animals know when something's not natural.
No, he doesn't want to eat it. He wants to put his hand and fuck up what I'm doing because he's rude.
To his thick little nose.
That's exactly what my dad keeps saying. Every time I text him, Rosalie did this, he just texts back, flick.
Yeah, your dad's sick of it, as am I. Let's get to some real people now that I've given you my advice on how to live better. And that thus concludes our new segment, Living Better with Iliza. Put your shit in a glass. Shit into a cup.
No, somebody's going to have a confession about that. I did shit in a cup once.
One time I did it.
Question. I have something to ask. I started seeing someone and they told me they broke up with their significant other, but they still live together and have to because they're on a lease until October, and I get that. But she drops this bomb. In October, she wants to take a vacation with this person. She has 2 kids, and this guy isn't the father and isn't even a father figure to them. And I love her and her kids, and now I feel stupid. I don't know to walk away from this or take a beat.
Walk
I
away.
told her how I
Run.
I told her how I felt.
I read this question on the Patreon, and this is even more incentive for people who don't have our Patreon to join it so you can read this.
I told her how I felt, and if she went on vacation in October, then I probably wouldn't be around after that. But now I feel sad and confused. What should I do? Do I run and don't walk from this, or just walk in a little jog? LOL, thank you for reading. And it looks like our question asker is...
A woman.
A woman.
Even if this person is into you, they're messy. And they need to sort out their situation before they involve you. It's your heart too, and even though her life is slightly more complicated, she is not respecting you. I don't know if she's just using you for sex or for the attention. I don't fault her for taking a vacation with the father because it is hard to take care of 2 kids. And if it's the only way to give your kids something special and the dad's coming and it's nice to have you guys together, she is not done with this person. I understand if you are in unfortunate financial circumstances and you can't just break your lease. I totally get that. But she needs to sort all of this out and she can come find you later. And the fact that you're like, I told her by October, which is half a year from now, May, June, July, October, fine, 4 months from now, and you still were like, I probably won't be around. You are being treated as a doormat because you are acting like a doormat, right?
Yeah, this is
gross. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to give it your everything. You're going to love her kids. You're going to become like an aunt to them. And then in a few months, she's going to be like, hey, listen, me and Rick, it's the father of my children. We're going to try to work it out. And by the way, in terms of him being a father figure, that's all hearsay. You don't know that. She told you that. You have no idea what's going on in that house, what their agreement is. She's not treating you with respect. And that's great that when you're together, she's really sweet. But you shouldn't be putting up with this. It's disrespectful to you and your heart.
Yeah, there's okay, even if they did break up, but they have to live together, why are they going on vacation together?
I just told you why.
But what's like, there's no justification. There's no reason. It's all weird. Don't.
Ask, hey, are you guys sharing a room? Oh, yeah, because it's cheaper. Oh, so you're poor, but you have time to make a vacation? Like, there are a couple things that don't add up. I think she's trying to have her cake and eat it too. I think she's trying to have her nucleic family, but also have sex with you. And I think it's sloppy of her to be in this circumstance and in these circumstances and bring her kids around you. I don't care if it is a woman. Like, introducing your kids to a third person should be something that is not taken lightly.
Yes.
Like, that is to suggest that a lesbian relationship is not as significant as a male-female relationship simply because you're a woman. It's not fair to the kids. It's definitely not fair to you. I don't like this woman. She's too sloppy.
I don't like it. Yeah, I agree.
But you're allowing it. So the fact that you said probably is what makes me mad at you for you.
Yeah.
I probably may not, thinking about, not sure, perhaps going to be around maybe.
Get out of there.
Get out of there. You don't need that. There's other women. Never understand when people have these like weird, like, I found my person and he's still married. He's also in jail, but he's got 3 kids and one of them's my sister, but I don't love him. No. Like, literally walk a block the other direction and find someone else. Find another mess.
Yeah, there's other single moms out there. Don't worry.
Have you seen that woman on Instagram? And she's gay and she's like, where are the girls out there? She has a really pretty face, like a lot of makeup, like super filtered, but she looks like a fuckboy from the 2000s.
Yes.
Like really skinny ripped jeans and like a sideways hat and like a lip ring. And like you can tell she's like had some therapy. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know this particular person, but I know this like archetype of person. Like I can picture it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a caricature of a lesbian. And she's like, where are the girls at? Like, it's like, the fact that I'm quoting, she's like, where are the moms at with the tattoos? Where are all the moms out there with a little bit of tummy fat, thinking you're not attractive, stressing out at night, flipping through your phone? Call me. And you're just like, I don't know. Somehow women are like, are you a mess? I'd love to take it on. It's very cringy.
All right. Now we're going to do our bread and butter.
It's going to pop up on everyone's Instagram now, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like this. It's like, I hope you can see this video. It's like, where all the honeys at? Where all the ladies at who got a little bit of jiggle in their thighs? Love their cats? Kids running a mess? You're special. Call me. She's just like casting the widest net for like any woman USA.
Right.
Fired from your nurse practitioner job.
Do you need someone to not treat you like shit, ladies?
Yeah, I'm single and I want a circus. Come on down.
Yeah. Hi, AIA crew, both 31 female. My friend was a bridesmaid in my wedding this past fall. She is getting married this coming fall, and I am so far a bridesmaid in hers. At my rehearsal dinner, she was seated at a table with all but 2 of the bridesmaids next to a good friend of hers who is also my husband's cousin. They hit it off at my bachelorette party. The only people at the table my husband and I were sitting at who were not family members or a bridesmaid who has health challenges and needed to get to the door quickly and who didn't have a partner make an even number of pairings at tables of 10 a challenge, and another bridesmaid who knows the one with health challenges from our childhood. So you got this. So clearly there's going to be some drama.
Okay. I'm like trying to visualize this with like X's and O's. Like a football play. Okay.
At my wedding, we had our entire wedding party and their partners at our one long table, about 20 people. My sister sat directly next to me with my husband at my other side, and no one was in front of us. This friend was with her partner at the end of the long table, across from a childhood friend of mine she has met many times and has repeatedly said she enjoys talking to. Okay, so we had a rehearsal dinner and a wedding where this friend was seated thoughtfully, but clearly there's going to be an issue.
Okay.
This friend sent a questionnaire about scheduling of her wedding events to her bridesmaids about a month before my wedding. She asked if there was anything she needed to know about our schedules. I'm an attorney and at the time had a trial scheduled in the weeks around her 4-day destination wedding weekend. Frequently, trials settle or dates get moved, which I told her but warned I may not be able to be at the Thursday night and Sunday morning events of that weekend, but could attend everything else if the trial actually happens, which was a slim possibility. In all likelihood, I'd be able to go to everything, and I called her at the time she sent the questionnaire to explain. She said okay.
Okay.
4 months after that questionnaire and my wedding, after acting completely normal with me that entire time, texting, seeing each other, venting to me about her wedding planning, she called to tell me how offended she was by the seating at my wedding, that she wasn't closer to me at least one of my events, and that it is unacceptable that I could not tell my boss I couldn't be involved with the trial in order to be at all of her wedding events. Based on our interactions, I was totally blindsided. I apologized and explained that the seating had to do with room logistics and some health challenges, and the trial was a remote possibility at this point, but I can't control the court's calendar. It never entered my mind to think about where any one person would want to be seated in relation to where I was sitting, since I sat down so little at my wedding. I reiterated how disappointed I would be to miss any of her events, but it was out of my control, and I could be there for what I thought were the most important events, including the night before and the actual wedding.
Right.
I was told I, quote, didn't get it and needed to say, take some time to think about it, and, quote, get off my high horse. I don't think she's using that right. After a few days, I reached out again and we spoke at length. I apologized sincerely and wanted to leave it at that, but she made me walk her through my thinking on the seating charts for all of the events.
Of your wedding 4 months ago?
Yes. And basically, the upshot of the conversation was that I'm a disappointment to her because we don't think the same way emotionally about these things. I agreed that the things that seem to bother her do not bother me. She was assigning value to an action, seating, that I did not assign to that action. I said I was ready to move past this and continue our relationship as it was, because it doesn't bother me that we don't think the same way about these types of issues. She said she wants time and space and that I should not reach out to her directly until she reaches out to me. It has been 2 months with nothing more than an oddly worded text on my birthday and following along in the bridesmaid group chat. Her sister recently got married and she cited how busy she was with that, so I've been holding off contacting her per her request, other than wish her family well for her sister's wedding. She responded warmly to that text, but I just don't know how to proceed from here. She has wedding events, bridal shower, bachelorette party coming up, but she hasn't substantively reached out in 2 months. Starting to feel like she's hoping I'll just cut myself loose and make a hard decision for her. The problem is I still care about her as a friend and our families are very close. I want to be there for her like she was for me. P.S. As predicted, my trial got moved so I can make all her wedding events now. I just haven't told her that yet because it feels like it's missing the point. What should I do? Reach out against her wishes? Bow out of her wedding? Nothing feels like the right thing to do. And at the end of the day, I just miss my friend.
Right. Well, your friend has been swept away in the wedding planning. I hate the term bridezilla because all the stress and pressure is on the woman to get it done. But she's rehashing all of these things and it sounds like she's taking out frustration perhaps with other bridesmaids or with her family or the wedding process on you. And you need to stop apologizing because that's at 31 as a lawyer. Like, that's a crazy thing. You can apologize once, be like, I'm so bummed, but you're not sorry. It's not like you did something wrong. And also, this woman needs a reality check. Like, as a bride at a wedding, like, the last thing that you should be thinking about is who your bridesmaid is sitting next to for a meal and everybody else can get up. The whole point is to make the bride's life easier. Your friend's a pill. And it's hard for me to comprehend you being like, but I love her so much and I still want to be there for her.
Yeah.
and now you can make everything. But Frank, like, I can't answer for you. It sounds like you do want to be her friend. It sounds like you do want to go, but you also desperately want to be heard. It also sounds like maybe this person takes like a long time to emotionally process things. I think she was doing her seating chart and she thought about your seating chart and how much she fucking hated it. Like, I can think of like 1 or 2 weddings I've been to where like something went wrong and like I've held it against them, not in a meaningful way, but in a like, yeah, well, your shuttle didn't work and I'll never forget that the shuttle didn't work to get us to our car. Now that you know, now that you've been married and you see the million directions you're pulled in, I think you can empathize with that a little bit. I wonder if it's worth auditioning her one last time. I wonder if it's worth calling her because you also need to make your plans and you're going to say, hey, like, hey, I'm available. And you can just say like, or maybe you can arrange to meet her, be like, hey, I feel like there's been a lot of weird energy and you're mad at me and I don't know that I deserve all of this. Now, I'm sorry that you felt however you felt. I mean, that's like a shitty apology, but like, I'm sorry if you didn't like who you sat next to at our wedding. As you're now going through this planning, you can see how difficult it is to accommodate everyone. And anybody that's ever put on a large event should understand that. I am still shocked when I put on like a large family gathering or something, or we did our wedding, like who needs to be seated by who? Like, who cares? Just go sit next to whatever loser I put you with. It's not an indictment on you. Sometimes
Right, this isn't a hang. Like, you're not there to make a new best friend. You're there for the wedding.
I had a friend once who was like, oh, cool, you sat me next to these people. Thanks so much. And I was like, I did it because you're one of my coolest friends. And I thought you would flow with that easier than other people. But cool,
It's someone
good to
that you
know.
sat next to me and they're just pissed.
What is she doing?
Why'd you
All
sit
these
me
cuts.
with Emily?
Keeps pointing out different bugs. So you sit down because you need to stand up for yourself. This person is sort of railroading you and it's not fair. And I think you call her and you're like, I need to talk to you. Be like, I know your wedding's coming up. I just kind of want to air this out a little bit. I don't know how you're feeling. I don't even know if you need to tell her you can make all that stuff yet, because I don't know if you want to be available for all of this and to be a punching bag for all of this, but I would kind of check where she is mentally. And I'd be like, hey, I think this has been kind of unfair. You know, you asked me to be a bridesmaid, but you've kept me at an arm's length as if we're in like some weird romantic relationship. You've kept me at an arm's length and it's been really hurtful. I found out I am able to make all of these things, but I kind of want to check in with you because it doesn't, if you don't want me there, that's okay. I need to clear this out. Like I as Iliza would have trouble not airing it out and not expressing myself. She's treating you the way you treat a boyfriend you're mad at. And as a girl, like that's not a hot feeling.
Definitely accuse her of being in love with you. That'll get you talking.
Are you
again.
guys best friends or are you just friends? It sounds like she's just like in her own like weird bridal planning hell and she's got like this weird queen complex and it's just so unnecessary, but she's not like there's no excuse for the way she's treating you.
Yeah.
So here you are, you've got this free time and she's not speaking to you. I hate to throw the baby out with the bathwater because you like feel like you're losing your friend. I would give her this chance to own up to like kind of being rude. And if she can't, like this is also like a part in life where people sort of split off. Like you get weird at your wedding, you don't talk anymore. Weddings are weird things where people show their true colors or they get too drunk or they say something really rude. Like you have to be prepared to let this person go because she is not treating you the way you would treat her or the way that you'd like to be treated. And then you're going to be writing back to us in a year like, my friend doesn't call me. And am I the only one upholding this relationship? It's uncomfortable. But it is worth calling and saying, because you don't want to threaten her. So would you be okay with skipping the wedding? Like, do you want to go to a wedding where someone's like not speaking to you? Or do you want to create a space to be like, I can't tell if maybe like this wedding planning has been really hard for you, but I feel like you've been really upset with me. And I just want to talk this through because I certainly don't want to be at your wedding if you don't like me. And then let her prove it to you. Because you haven't done anything wrong.
No. Yeah, no, you haven't. But I feel like there's a very good chance after the wedding, she thinks you can just go back to normal because her stress level is going to go down. She's like, well, anyway. And it's like, actually, no, you were being wild.
But even if you sat her next to the worst people ever And even if she was like, I didn't want to tell you right then and there, she's wrapping that up with her own emotions about her wedding and she's taking it out on you and you don't deserve that. I'm here to help you. I want to help. I want to be by your side for this stuff. But if you are angry at me, then we either need to squash this and move past it, or I can't be at your wedding because it's uncomfortable. And let her process that and then say why it would be important for her to have you there, and let her, you've already given her the chance to move past it. So it sounds like she's unhappy about something else and she's using this, but I don't like it.
No, I don't either.
Like, does she not have a real job? Like, bending over backward to like make the day before and the wedding. She's like, that's not good enough, is so insane. I don't know where girls get off demanding all of this. Like, nobody with a real life.
Destination weekend.
It's
yeah,
enough.
you're a lawyer.
Yeah. Even if you weren't, like, nobody is that excited about your love.
It really is bizarre. Like, you have to fly. You have to. Ugh.
I guess I just never lived in that space. I didn't have a ton of friends getting married when I was younger. I wasn't going to a ton of weddings. I've been invited to destination weddings since, but it's like, I travel so, like, that's hard to do. It would have to be like my best friend was getting married, but these people are just flying around like, it's a girl I know from college. I'm like, and you're still friends? Like, it's just, Doesn't anyone have a career? All right. Well, that's the whole show. Was this question? Is this lopsided? This whole thing?
No.
Osmo. Oh, didn't like it. I touched his head. He went like that. Okay.
All right. We're going to do some confessions. Dear Eliza and Emily, when I was a younger professional starting out in the field of wildlife management, I took a job hand-raising white-tailed deer fawns for a high-fence facility. While I worked at this facility, myself and the two other gals that I worked with shared housing that was on site. I began noticing that someone was eating my food. We shared a kitchen and each of us had a shelf in the fridge and labeled things in the freezer.
A deer getting in there at night. White-tailed deer helping herself.
I, having grown up in Arizona and having a higher tolerance for spicy food, began putting more chili powder in my food. Found out very quickly who it was, and she very quickly learned her lesson and abruptly stopped. Her stomach was fucked.
Yeah, fuck you. Don't eat my deer food.
Who was this person that like couldn't handle like more chili powder?
God, I wish the confession was from the person who's like, and I ate my roommate's snacks and I had hot diarrhea for a week from that habanero.
And what's up with the deer? Like, that's just a cool addition.
I like the idea of wildlife management. And I take 10% of all the nuts they eat.
Yeah.
Another question?
Another confession, because we're trying to balance out our poop ones. Hey, IA crew. Love listening to all the petty nonsense and your hot takes. Years ago, while selling our first house, the buyers turned out to be totally nuts, demanding all kinds of crazy fixes after offering us above asking price the day the house went on the market. We went back and forth and almost ended the sale, but did finally come to a mostly reasonable agreement. The confession. Shortly before closing on the house, my dog got into a chocolate brownie without us knowing. She was fine, except for the massive explosion of diarrhea she had in her kennel while we were at work for the day. Her kennel was downstairs, so to let her out into the backyard so we could hose her down and clean up, she still had to go up the stairs to get outside. On the way up, she was wagging her tail and flapping poop everywhere, spattering the walls. I, of course, cleaned it all up, but just before closing, I was touching up paint scuffs on the wall and found some splatter I had missed. I just painted over it. Yes. So I would know the buyers were moving into a house with poop forever sealed into the wall as my tiny bit of spite for all the nonsense they put us through. It was petty and silly, but felt so good.
There you go.
And the dog is now 13, and she attached a very cute photo of the dog.
Let me see.
The dog is poop colored, but in a cute way.
That does look like a dog that would just get shit everywhere after diarrhea.
And smile at you. Just the idea that you painted it into the wall, like, yes. Like, was it the cask of Amontillado where it gets sealed in? Like, you sealed in that little turd.
For everyone at home, it's a chocolate lab, but you can tell it's older. It's got like a full white muzzle, but it's a substantial dog that you know is just like, oh, Buster doesn't feel well. I get it. Having dealt with someone who with a seller recently who for sure like wrote us really hard on the price of something. And then we come to find out what we purchased was just literally a house made of dead rats. And this woman was so unflexible with her negotiations. You just like dream of ways that you could like retroactively hurt them.
Yeah.
I sold a house one time that I was living in and the guy was like difficult. And so I took all the furniture that my house had come with. Like there was like extra patio furniture upstairs and no one had mentioned it. So I took everything, every stitch that came with the house. I was like, you're not getting nothing from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Felt really good.
All right. Now people on the Patreon are just giving each other advice because our question asker says, open for comments. Hi, AIA crew and Patreon subscribers. I think my mom thinks I am settling with my boyfriend. I'm 28. My boyfriend is 32. We've been together 2 years. I work as a paralegal and make decent money. I'm also overly ambitious and have been on a journey of continuous self-improvement since I graduated college in 2019. My BF works as a manager at a local grocery store, so he doesn't make much money and doesn't have a whole lot of ambition to advance his career despite the awful pay and benefits.
This is the second question asker we've had with someone who works at managing a grocery store. Do you remember that? The people listening will. It's fine. The people will remember.
I have no issue being the breadwinner. I'd love if he got a new job, but he's happy. He supports me and cares for me in every emotional and physical way. He is a giant teddy bear of a man. I wish my mom would see him for what he is and not worry if I'm being taken care of. Channeling my inner Cher, Mom, I am the rich man. You know that quote, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to tell the audience?
Oh, it's just someone asked Cher if she was like gonna marry a rich man. She was like, I am the rich man.
Thank you. Yes.
Rich man to rich man.
Well, hold on. What's some advice for handling this with my mom? I love my family more than anything, and their opinions mean a lot to me. I definitely struggle with needing external validation. It's something I'm working on, but me and my mom are really close, and it'd kill me if she doesn't like my partner. Any advice would be great from my big sisters or the patrons. Now, no patrons replied because they knew they better not step on our toes here.
Your mother is looking out for you. And your mother, I don't know if your mom lives where you live. Like, I don't know if these are snapshot relationships. I don't know if she's gotten to spend much time around him. But your mother is looking at the earning potential for this man. Now, your mom's of a different generation, so she's going to have a different metric than perhaps we would or someone younger than us. Plenty of marriages, one's the breadwinner, one isn't. One's creative, one's not. One's the alpha, one's the beta. There's nothing wrong with being in a relationship where you are the breadwinner and he has a job. It's just there's not a ton of upward mobility. I think the bigger question is, and I do think you should have this conversation with him, like, what are his life goals? Because you're a paralegal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a tough job. And I know that that's the kind of job that could lead to other jobs. I don't know if you're also thinking of going to law school, but there is some upward mobility with that. And hopefully you're good enough at it that you're going to be sought after and you'll have different opportunities. You will start to not have things in common as you get older if your career grows and it's on that paralegal trajectory and he is just flatlined managing a grocery store. I don't know what kind of life you envision for yourself. I don't know what it's going to look like if you decide to have a baby and you can't take time off and he's got to work at the grocery store. I think it's more about sitting down with him and asking his goals because you should want him and he should want for himself to have other ambitions in life. And there's nothing wrong with managing a grocery store, but does he want to become the regional manager? Does he have ideas for something else? Does he have a hobby he's super passionate about? So your mom is really under it all looking to make sure that the rest of your life is easier. And I don't know, again, where you live. Like if you guys live in like rural Kentucky and you're a paralegal and he's at a grocery store and it's all like in downtown, that's different than if you live in New York and this is the case. It's about, do you guys come from do you have the same ideals? Do you have the same values? And do you have the same goals? Are you going to be a paralegal and go on to do something else? And he's going to maybe be a stay-at-home dad if you even want to have kids. And so I think it's worth having those conversations with him to make sure that you're aligned in your goals and what you each want for yourselves and together before you go full on defending this guy to your mom. That way you can sit down with your mom and you can say, your approval means so much to me. We want to build something together. Here's what his goals are. Here's what mine are. we're not just flying by the seat of our pants. Because your mom is ultimately wanting to make sure that you're taken care of when she's gone. So I appreciate that you are like not angry at your mom about this and you want her approval. And you should also hear from her why she doesn't approve and try to listen to it versus like, you're just being a bitch. You don't like him because of whatever. So I think you're being pretty level-headed about it, but it is worth checking in with him. And if he's like, I just like being a grocery store manager, my family's everything, like that's okay. And it's easy when you're younger to say, I don't mind being the breadwinner, but there are stresses and complications that do come with that. So take it slow. Get all the info.
Right. If he's supporting you in other ways, like you're working really hard and he's very fulfilled in his job, and so he makes dinner or he comes and hangs out. You know, like I just feel like there are other, just like we wouldn't, if a man is making the money and the woman's a stay-at-home mom, it's not like, well, what are her ambitions? You know,
and you can
it's
say
like,
that to your mom. Be like, he takes out all the trash. He does the cooking, the cleaning. He does all these things that I don't have time for. And it works perfectly. And it's been working.
yeah.
And also I think like if you got engaged, then maybe I think she's afraid that you're just like dating someone that has no future. But maybe if you got engaged, it would be different. Or maybe if she'd spent significant time with him. And by the way, she could still think he's a really nice guy, just not good enough for you. And that's okay too. I'm saying like she can think that, but she'll have to just get over it and she will one day if he is a good guy.
Right.
And that's what I think.
Hey, Eliza and Emily. I am a 41-year-old successful business lady who recently fell in love with a 39-year-old blue-collar fella. He has a heart of gold, loves me to bits, is smart and funny, and every sign is pointing to this relationship getting very serious quickly. I make considerably more money than he does. This isn't exactly his favorite fact, but he is mature enough to not let it get in the way of our relationship. If I want to go to a fancy meal or take us on a nice trip, I simply foot the bill. This doesn't even remotely bother me. Our life situations have led us to different financial outcomes, and I see him as a peer on every level. I just don't care who is paying for our beautiful life as long as we have it together. We've talked about marriage, and we are both excited about it. My question is about buying an engagement ring. I know he cannot afford the ring I want. I would be happy to find a way to buy it and just have it available if he ever wants to pop the question. But how does one even start to talk about that without ruining any possibility of surprise and romance? Should I just let go of the dream of my perfect ring and accept whatever ring he gets as a perfect symbol of our love? I've worked hard to have enough resources to be able to enjoy the finer things in life and could easily foot the bill on this. And it seems like I should, since even a modest ring would be a challenge for him to swing. In the end, this really doesn't matter that much. It's just a ring, right? But I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback because I really would love to have the symbol of our love be as impressive, perfect, and beautiful as the love itself. Thanks for your time. Please keep me anonymous.
Well, that's the issue. You're wanting to present your love as perfect, and it isn't. No love is. Your love is a man that you love for reasons that have nothing to do with financial means. And that ring would be a representation of you buying yourself a beautiful piece of jewelry. It's not symbolic of the two of you or his love for you. And if you're already telling me that it isn't his favorite subject that you make more than him, I can't imagine he's going to feel good about you buying this ring. You can buy another beautiful ring. I have my own diamond rings that I bought myself that I wear on my right hand. And they're meaningful to me, and some of the diamonds have fallen out, but who cares? I make more money than my husband. This is not something that he is like embarrassed about or shy about because he does so many things that I could never do. He is so supportive in so many ways. And this is also to the person who just wrote in the question, and it works. So you're talking to a woman who lives and walks that walk, right? But my husband bought me my wedding ring. And we did the mature thing, which is we talk about the styles I absolutely would never wear, what I like. We went to the jewelry district together, and I left the room while he negotiated a price with like a wholesale diamond person. He also got a beautiful diamond that was his, but within his family. It was like from his grandma, and it was a diamond for him. So that does make it easier. Maybe he has a piece of family jewelry, but I think as girls, sometimes we get caught up in this fantasy. You're already not living the fairy tale dream. You already are an empowered woman who makes more money, and you're married to this and you've got this beautiful blue collar guy who makes less than you. You're already off on the wrong foot for that idyllic fairy tale dream. So you're gonna have to shelf the idea of like, and then he's gonna surprise me with this perfect ring. It's already imperfect. You want him to surprise you with a ring that you bought? That puts you on the weirdest footing. It's gonna plant this weird seed. I don't think you're gonna respect him. He wants to marry you. He can find you a ring. There are beautiful rings out there that are smaller, and it would make him feel good to give it to you. And that ring, if you agreed, I don't want a pear-cut diamond. I do want a lab-grown diamond. I won't wear a sapphire or whatever. That ring will represent his love for you and what he can provide, and it will represent the two of you. Any other way is a misrepresentation of what you have, and it's just a representation of the image you want to convey.
This is really tough. Yes, because I agree. And it's any other piece of jewelry that's like, yeah, get exactly what you want. But there is an element of this that is very controlled. It's like, I know exactly the ring. I want him to use this. I want it to present this ideal.
What do you need him
that's
for?
Really tough, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I could have it on hand for him. And one day he could ask me for it. That's really tough. I do wonder if there's like, let him choose the engagement ring and you pick out and get you two like the matching wedding rings, something like that.
Else. Or go buy yourself a nice ring. You want to have the big diamond and you want to walk around, and then what? Are you going to tell people that you bought it, or are you going to let people think that he bought it for you?
Because also, if I see that guy, if I'm that guy's friend or relative or whatever, and I see you with the biggest ring, I'm like, why would he spend his money so stupidly when he doesn't have that much money? You know what I mean? Like, what do you think people are going to think about your ring? Not that it matters what other people think, but it seems to matter to you in terms of this ring. It's not just like, oh, I really want this ring because it was the same kind my grandmother had, or I saw it as a child.
I understand putting on airs. I do. I understand wanting to project a certain image, and I understand having the money to do so and being like, well, I want to go do this, so let's go do that. And I think that's great. I think that that's empowering. I think any men that get caught up in that it's an antiquated notion. Like, you have the money to take us on vacation and you're the girl, let's go. Why do I have to be miserable because the guy I'm with can't afford it and he can't get his own ego out of the way? And it sounds like this guy is really doing the best he can given these newfangled circumstances. But there's something about the language that you use to talk about the ring. You're wanting him to fit into your version of what this perfection looks like, and I just don't think it works that way. I don't think that you get to be empowered and foot all these bills and do all this and convey that he too has money when the dirty secret is he doesn't. This isn't like you want to buy a house for the two of you. Take on vacation. You don't want to walk around with a little chip of a diamond and be like, this is all he had. But like, he's in this relationship too.
Yeah.
And so maybe there's a conversation you can have. Maybe there's a way that you could both arrive at something about the ring. But I just would hate for you to not undermine him, but I would hate for him to feel like neutered in a weird way.
And not even like obviously the masculinity is always going to be a piece of it, but just like not a part of it. Like, everything is your choice because you have the power to make the choice because you have the money.
Yeah, like, where does that leave him? So now I've got a ring that I bought myself that I told him to give me when he was ready. Like, it is a very young girl thing to think. And I will tell you, I did have a boyfriend who I thought maybe that would be someone that I married one day. And I remember going on a website and like looking up my own wedding rings because I was like, well, I could just buy it myself. Because he had, when I say no money, like he had negative money. But he was handsome and charming and lovely and like had potential to do stuff, but kind of had like loser genes. But was so like good looking and charismatic that you kind of didn't care. You're like, whatever, we'll find something for him. And he couldn't. But I remember looking up my own ring and I was much younger and I remember thinking this would be okay. And it kind of isn't. And it's not about anything other than the coming together of two people. And that's not what that is if you buy your own ring. For that matter, why even have rings? If it's only a symbol of you and your financial power, why don't you buy a boat?
More women should buy boats, should make that terrible choice, terrible financial investment.
I'm just saying, you're planning this beautiful life and you are full steam ahead and you deserve it and you've worked hard and you want to do all these incredible things. And you know what? that might be the only kind of guy available to you because men are afraid of strong women. So maybe it is a more subdued guy, blue collar. Maybe he is more strict. Maybe that is the kind of guy you get because the kind of guy that you work with may be threatened by a woman like you. And there's nothing wrong with that, with finding the guy that supports you, that you love, and he doesn't make as much money. That's okay. But you have to let him shine too.
Yeah. Top of the cob.
It's the top of the cob. We're doing it right every day. You just take a bite, top of the cob.
Starting with bottom.
I feel like I always create momentum and then you're like, okay.
Now it's over.
Like an applause break or something. All right,
Leave
start
it
with,
wanting more.
I got a good bottom. Mildred Goodbottom.
All right. We have from a fan. My bottom of the cob is trucks are too big. I'm talking about civilians driving big honking jacked up trucks. They take up too much space in parking spots, block visibility when you're trying to pull out, and are huge gas guzzlers. Unless you are hauling something or it's necessary for your job, it is completely obnoxious to have a big ass truck just to compete in some dick swinging contest with other drivers. We get it. You have a small wiener. I'd like to propose a tax on big trucks, unless you legitimately need it for your job.
Well, there's about to be on the parts. I do get annoyed at how far out the side mirrors go.
They're just taking up too much space.
Like ram horns.
Yeah.
If you are not hauling anything, it is stupid to have a truck. And that is coming from someone who like wanted a truck. I like a truck.
Yeah.
But I don't want to throw my luggage for the airport in the back. If you're not hauling nothing, you don't need a truck.
If you have to use steps to get in your car, but you're not doing any hauling, get it together.
My high school boyfriend had a Dodge Ram 4x4 and it had a lift kit. And it was like silly looking. And I, in like my prom dress, had to like step up into it. And I didn't have sex with him.
Oh.
I was like, this truck isn't enough.
It was too small of a
I was
truck.
like, I'm 16. What do you want from me? Okay.
My bottom is, it is the year 2025. And yet in my head, I have 1877 cars for kids. KARS cars for kids.
Okay.
1877 cars for kids. Donate your car today for like 5 days. I'm
Let
going
the kids
insane.
drive. Let a kid drive your car.
Help me. It's the worst.
I can't because I have Frozen stuck in my head.
You
And
at least
Encanto.
are watching it with your child. I'm not watching a Cars for Kids ad, but it's in my head.
Now everyone hates you because now it's going to be in their
That's
head.
exactly what I've passed it on like the Ring.
Oh, yeah. Can I say, have you ever seen Encanto?
Yes.
So it's so great. My favorite
very
song in
good.
Encanto is the lesbian strong sister.
Yes, that's the best one.
Lin-Manuel Miranda is a genius, and that song is so good.
It's so good.
I'm not going to sing it.
I
Nobody
posted
wants
on Reddit because I could not. I was just like, "There's this rap-ish song. It's this song. It's a woman. It's in my head, and I can't remember what it is." And someone comments like, "It's like the tip of my tongue." Subreddit. Someone's like, "Is it this song from Encanto?" And I'm like, "Yes,
yes. Whoa.
that's a
the part.
great song." Yeah.
I love
What's your
it.
bottom?
That's my endorsement. My bottom of the cob, is away messages on email.
Oh,
Because what will happen is somebody will write something. Literally 30 minutes later, I'll write back. And then I get the bounce back of like, I'm out of the office with limited email. You're like, it's such a flex
where'd you go?
to set. And like, where'd you go? We were in the middle of talking. It's like when you visit a doctor's office and you're like, wait, I had a question. They're like, he's in with a patient now. You can never get to him again.
Yeah.
Or her. It just bothers me because it's just something that like now it's in my inbox and I've got to like erase this. We all have access to internet at all times, unless you are in the Congo, like deep in a jungle, you have access. I don't need to be like, we're not working on a case. I don't need to be told that you have limited access. It is just fine if you get back to me later. Like I don't need a to the second update. And I think people do it as this like weird flex. Like it's one thing if you're on vacation and you're like, I'm not going to be answering any, but limited access just means I'll just get to it when I want. And I just hate that getting bounced back moments after I wrote to you. Like take your away message off. Nobody cares.
Right.
Unless it's like we're in the middle of something and I need someone else's email and you can tell me in that, like give me a direction to talk to someone else. I just think it's annoying and it's just junk in my inbox.
Yeah.
Or if it's from someone on the chain, like let's say it's like 10 people on a project and you keep getting it from like someone's assistant. You're like, I don't even know you. I don't fucking care where you are, Kelsey. Like, it's just like, hey, I'm out of town from March 15th through the 17th. Please reach out to Daryl at Logistics. You're like, you should not even be on this chain.
Yeah.
with your fucking away message. It just drives me crazy.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, Kelly, whatever I said your name was. Top of the Cob.
Okay, we have a good one from a new fan. Very exciting.
Welcome to the pod.
Hey, Eliza and Emily. Being introduced to your work is a top of the cob in itself. I first heard Eliza on the Dear Chelsea podcast a few weeks ago.
There you go.
Then watched the new special and have since watched all the specials on Netflix and am just nearing the end of 2019 and old podcast episodes.
Yes.
I'm addicted and really hope you'll consider returning to London or visiting Belfast at some point in the future.
Would love to.
Okay. So, very exciting. See, it works. Going on other podcasts, it works.
One person.
But that's just the one who wrote in. Not all of the people who came here are writing in. Okay. Now on to the thing that topped Finding AIA. This week, I had the privilege of getting to see Sir Elton John and Brandi Carlile perform at the London Palladium. I couldn't get a ticket when they originally went on sale. Bottom of the cob is definitely people who buy tickets just to sell them at extortionate prices. So, ended up paying a much overpriced one on tickets resale site, but not with a great seat. I was way up top in the grand circle, but just so grateful I got any ticket. As I waited in the queue to enter the hospitality suite the night of the show, I complimented a guy on his purple velvet jacket and we got to chatting. Suddenly he mentioned his wife hadn't been able to make the show because their son was sick. He had flown all the way from Australia to London just for a one-night stay.
Wow.
And since I was alone, would I mind sitting with him? I asked which seat in case it was worse than mine. It turned out he had front row tickets. Not only did I get to sit 10 feet away from Elton John as he played the piano, yes, I could see his fingers on those keys. I also got to meet Ronnie Wood from the Rolling Stones, Jason Momoa, and Bjorn Ulvaeus from ABBA. It was one of the best nights of my life, and I'm still riding the high 2 days later. The funny thing was, in order to even be eligible to buy the original tickets, I had to pre-purchase Elton and Brandy's new album on CD and cassette. I don't have a machine that plays either of those, and yet I ordered copies from both artists. Wow. The morning the tickets went on sale, I told myself if I was meant to get a ticket, the universe would make sure I got one. I just never expected it to be that good. Just goes to show that manifestations do sometimes work. I'm looking forward to listening to the 200 plus episodes of the show I've still yet to catch up on. Hope I get to see you live on stage in the not too distant future. A new huge fan, Maz. Now, that is not manifestation. That is karma because you were a delight to that velvet jacketed man. And he said, you know what? I'm going to have this person sit with me. So you were just a good, delightful person.
Good for you. You were like, hey, there's a guy wearing something weird. I like that.
Yeah.
Here's my question. He showed up with 2 tickets in his pocket. Mm-hmm. And do you think he was like, whoever compliments me on this hideous jacket first, I shall reward them?
I think he was just like, whatever, I just won't have someone sitting next to me. Fine. Like, he traveled there for it, what, you know.
Because it all sounds like a scam up until you seeing Elton John's fingers, which is weird that you mentioned that as if we're like, but did you see his fingers? Was he actually playing? Prove it, Mom.
Or his fingers moving.
I think it's less karma and I think it's less manifestation and more what happens when you go with the flow and are just open. Like you just talked to someone and neither of you were doing something weird sexually and you were just, I'm just hoping to go. And you know what? You deserve that for being a real fan. The fact that you pre-bought all that stuff, now I'm like, how can I get people to pre-watch my special and then only be eligible then to buy a ticket? But like people like you or like Emily that are like, I'll stand in line, I'll buy the commemorative cup, I'll get the CD, I'll do the thing. As a performer, like, because Elton John and I are the exact same, we appreciate that. And so thank you on behalf of Sir Elton John.
So this is a good fan to have. They're going to be at your show.
I'll take it. Can't wait to go to Northern Ireland.
My top is, okay, you know, when you have a headache, you know, a headache can be caused by so many things, right? You're like, did I not eat? Did I not drink water? Did I not drink coffee? Did I drink too much? Did I not, you know? Is it the weather? Is it what? When you take the right headache medicine and it goes away in an hour. I had a splitting headache and I was like, let's roll the dice and see what I should treat for. And now I'm flying high. My head is normal-ish.
Put a little bit of gin in a baby cup and I sip it.
In my sippy cup,
my sippy cup. My top of the cob pales in comparison to Maz's and it is
I know.
crushing bowls of unsugared cereal at night.
Yum. With milk or dry?
With milk, and I slice some fresh strawberries like from the farmer's market. Oh. Sometimes you just need carbs, and I try not to eat after dinner. And
I don't really know what a carb is. A cereal's a carb?
Yeah. Like anything good is going to be a carbohydrate. Anything you want is going to be a carbohydrate. And I'm like, you know what? Don't be weird about it. Like 2 bowls of cereal compared to what you could have. But it's like these like grainy O's, these like sugarless, just like wheat, whatever. Because we don't give our kids
Wheat
sugary
rings.
cereal. But you put good milk and like fresh strawberries on that. And it's like, it just hits the spot.
It's cold.
It's cold and it's that crunch and the like the mealiness of the cereal. And I just, the second bowl's never as good as the first. Noah and I are watching Cheers, Tail to Snout. So I'm deep in the world of Sam and Diane. It's always nice to do for an education on TV comedy. That was
Let
deeply
me know when
satisfying.
you get to Kirstie.
I want to talk about it. No spoilers.
I've never watched it. I just love Kirstie Alley and Rhea Perlman.
You know who was
Shelley
on
Long.
one of the episodes was Corey Feldman. It was like a little boy who plays baseball in one of them. Oh yeah, people are on that show.
Yeah.
And that's it. So that's what I'm doing right now. And you guys, this is the end of the month. I am sure I had fun in Aotearoa, New Zealand, and Australia. And I will see you in and around. Probably going to be doing a special Mother's Day show. I guess I could put that out there. Probably going to be doing a special Mother's Day show at the Brea Improv. Going to be doing it that Saturday. I'm going to do a brunch show. We can always cut this out if for some reason I don't, but we are going to do a special Mother's Day show. And yeah, this is... I have some really exciting news to share soon, but I'm not going to do it until it's like in the trades. But I do have something exciting to share. And come see me. I'll be running some sets in and around LA until I take my summer break. And we'll be doing this podcast. And we're here ramping up the show, getting more questions now than ever. New fans like Maz. Come on over. Convert your friends. That's what we need. Converts. Email. And you can always email us your life questions, confessions, whatever, animal songs, whatever, at
AskElizaPodcast@gmail.com or put it in the Patreon chat thread called Submit Your Questions.
That all sounds complicated, but it's really not. Get in there.